In this video, I'm going to teach you how to earn over $1 million in commissions. What's up, everybody? My name is Henry Eisenstein, and I've been a part of over $400 million worth of real estate transactions. I'm only 27. So let's dive right into the video. Guys, in this video, again, we're talking about how to earn over $1 million in real estate commissions. There's only really 3 ways to do it. Number 1, increase your price points. Number 2, increase your commissions. And number 3, increase your deal flow. Let's dive in deep on each topic to make sure you fully understand by the end of this video exactly how to earn $1 million. So before we do anything at all into diving into each part of this, I want you to understand you need to know your numbers. If you do not know your numbers, it's going to be nearly impossible to make more money than what you're making right now. Let me give you a quick example. If you want to earn $1 million a year, that will equate to $84,000 roughly every single month. So at $84,000 a month, let's talk about an average commission check of 10 grand. Yours might be higher, yours might be lower, but at 10 grand, that's 8.4 transactions per month. Let's just call it 9, because if you're doing 8, you're not making $1 million, you'll make under. At 9 transactions a month, at $10,000 average commission, you are going to make $1 million in a year. Now understand something, really quick side note. This is about gross commission income. This isn't profit. This is not guaranteed profit, because most likely you're probably gonna have some staff when it comes to building a $1 million a year revenue business. If you want to net $1 million a year, you're going to have to then back out your numbers and understand that, again, your income is going to be completely dependent on how you run your business. Because I've run a business with a lot of employees. I've run a business like a lean, mean, fight and seal machine, okay? The point is, if you don't know which way to run it, you are going to struggle. You're going to have a hard time netting $1 million. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is very, very important to understand: increasing your price points. So a lot of us, especially when you're starting off in the business, whether you're selling commercial or residential real estate, you typically are focused on low-priced homes because you think you might not have the experience in order to sell the higher-priced properties. Let me just debunk a quick myth real fast. First off and foremost, there is absolutely no reason why you could not start off your first transaction selling a multi-million-dollar piece of property. Don't get me wrong, you might end up doing it with a partner or an agent in your office or your team leader. I'm not saying you're just gonna do it right after that by yourself, because maybe you don't know exactly what you're doing, but I'm saying people's first transaction could possibly be a multi-million-dollar deal. Just get it out of your head that you have to start small, because that's just not accurate. So again, whether you're in commercial or residential, I want you to understand that the thing you need to focus on is whatever you have been prospecting. That is the bar you've set for yourself currently. Who imposed that bar? Who imposed that standard? You did. I was a victim of this as well, where my bar, my standard of house pricing, even in New Jersey, just a few short years ago when I first got started, my average price point started out at like $280,000 to $300,000, and then I went it to $325,000, and I got really excited. Then I got it to $350,000, and I got really excited. And then over the last now 24 months, my average price point now is over $1 million. This is all about making more money. And one of the biggest proponents of making more money in the real estate business, because we all understand as realtors, we are paid a percentage of the gross sale. If we're paid a percentage of the sales price, you're probably going to want to have a higher sales price. Listen, again, if you're getting anything out of this video, I want you to make sure you go in the description down below and schedule a free consultation with me. I love to coach you. I love to be able to support you in taking your business to the next level. We're going to dive right back into the video. All you need to do when it comes to increasing your price points is just be cognizant of what and who you're prospecting. So if you're doing circle prospecting, as an example, I'm going to take networking off the table for a second. If you're just talking about lead generation, prospecting for new business, if you are pulling data, if you're calling expireds, if you're calling for sale by owners on the residential side, or in both sides of the coin, you're just pulling lists of properties to possibly call when it comes to quote unquote circle prospecting. If you are pulling data and the average property value of the homes or the properties that you are calling is under $500,000 or even $700,000, even $1 million, again, you can dictate this, you are just inhibiting your ability to earn money. Because let me give you an example. When I was selling properties at around a $300,000 price point, I was making, again, around 2%, okay? It was about 2.25 exactly. 2%, let's just take a quick numbers. 2% of 300,000 is $6,000. 6,000 times, call it 30 sales or so, is $180,000. Minus broker splits, I was around $140,000 in my first year. That's why it was very hard for me to make any money. If you do 30 sales at an average price point of $2 million, where your average commission check is 60 grand at a 3%, or let's just call it 40,000 bucks, 40,000 times the same 30 transactions, you're gonna get $1.2 million. This is exactly what we're talking about. If you can increase your price points, which I slowly did over time, all I'm urging you to do is to understand that if you want to increase the dollars in your pocket, more than anything, first thing you want to focus on is increasing your price point. If you are a residential agent focused, then I would recommend that you start prospecting homes that are probably anywhere between 50% to 100% higher price point than what you're prospecting right now. So again, if you're focused on a $500,000 home, at minimum, I would start targeting a $750,000 to $1 million home. Do a slight jump, okay? And again, for some, like that's not a massive jump in your business, okay? Now, if you're in the commercial world, you can probably do a 2 or 3x without feeling too much of a shift. So again, if you're prospecting right now, $500,000 commercial properties in your local area, I'd probably expand your local market, expand your market that you're going after. I'm in New Jersey. I cover the entire state. I don't just cover a town. There's not enough properties in that town to focus on, okay? So I cover the entire state, and now I'm starting to launch in different states as well on the investment side. So in the commercial world, it might be a little bit easier to do this, but in the residential world, you can do the same exact thing. This is exactly what I did. I just expanded my price point in my geolocation, so I had more opportunities for it. If you're specific on the commercial side, you're already prospecting, call it $1 million property, you want to double that or triple it. Start only focusing on $2 or $3 million deals, because 2% at $1 million is 20 grand. To make $1 million a year, you got to really sell, call that 4.5 or 5 probably, just to make sure you're really making that. 5 commercial properties per month, which means 60 transactions a year. However, if you can just increase your price point to $3 million, which in commercial is not that difficult, guys. It's really not that difficult. It's just who you are prospecting. It's not that crazy different of a property. It's really not. If you go from $1 million to $3 million, just this one shift, where if we've got 2 other things we're going to talk about, this one shift, commission check goes from $20,000 to $60,000 just at 2%. And some of you will get 3%, or I'm going to teach you how to get way more than that. So again, if you're getting 2% to $3 million, that's $60,000. Now you got to do 2 transactions a month, and you're going to be able to make $120,000 a month. And again, listen, if this is exciting you, this is a perfect time to go in the description down below and schedule your free consultation, free coaching call with me. Right? I want to be able to help you. I want to be able to blow your business up, take you to that $1 million mark. And then, by the way, we've got a lot of people in the Millionaires Club who are getting really, really close. So I'm super excited to, really support those people. And if you think that you got what it takes in order to get you to the next level, I want you to make sure that you click the link in the description down below. We've been talking about on just increasing your price points. I'm sure it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but this is the simplest, easiest way to start increasing your commission checks, which really just means making more money. All right, point number 2, guys. We're talking about how to increase your commissions. So now that you've increased your price point, what I am going to say now is the second thing you got to focus on is how do you increase your percentage? I feel like that's the best way for people to look at it, because you're like, what do you mean increase my commissions? Yes, your percentage. Easiest, simplest way that I have found in order to do this is that I focus on the investment world more than anything. I find off-market properties, okay? Follow this. This is super crucial. So again, here's the coolest part. And this works, by the way, if you're working with a regular retail buyer that's just looking for either, whether it's an investment or an actual home to live in, okay, whether it's commercial, residential, whatever. If you are skilled enough, if you learn the skills, which is exactly what I talk about in all my trainings, to find off-market properties, now you're in control of your commissions. Hypothetically, let's just say that you're looking for a buyer for John Smith and his wife, Sally. Okay, I'm gonna start with residential. I'm gonna talk about commercial in a second. You're trying to find a property for them. You can look on the market. Average commission is gonna be like 2, 2.5, maybe 3% depending on your location. That price or that commission is dictated for you. Again, let's say they're looking for a $500,000 house. You're gonna make 2% commission, maybe 3 at most. Let's call it $10,000 to $15,000. That is one way of looking at it. However, what I've been able to do is that I focus on off-market properties only. I don't like looking at the MLS, and I'll tell you why. What I'll do for John and Sally is that I'll find them the same $500,000 home. Heck, I might even be able to find them a property for $450,000, and I'll show you exactly what I do. If I can find a property in that same exact neighborhood, very similar home to that $500,000 house that Sally and John are looking for, what I'm able to do is I'll find that same house, and I'll talk to the seller, and I'll say, hey, what kind of property, what type of price point are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for somewhere around $470,000, $475,000, maybe $480,000, but here's the catch. Here's the most important thing. So I can appreciate that. So again, you said you're looking for around $470,000, $475,000, $480,000, whatever they're looking for, okay? Hypothetically, the point that I'm trying to make is that it's less than the $500,000 on the market property. Then what I'll be able to do, guess what? I have an off-market house. Now what I'll do is, because listen, they're gonna, that seller, are you open to paying me a commission if I find your agent? Some of them say yes, some of them say no. If they're looking for $475,000, and I know that John and Sally can pay $500,000, I'll bring them the house for $500,000. I'll say, here's a perfect house. They're looking for around $500,000. It's off market. They don't got to go through this crazy bidding war, which who knows what market you guys are in, if there's even that crazy bidding war stuff still going on. I'll now bring this house. No bidding war. It's off market. They don't have to do anything. I'll show them the property, and now we'll make an offer at, even if it's $495,000, $500,000, whatever, but I built in my commission of 5% or sometimes 6%, in the deal. I found the off-market deal where now that seller is going to net exactly what they're looking to net, and my buyer is super, super happy because now they found a house that fits their criteria. And yes, it might take them a few homes that they have to see off-market. And listen, I'm not saying this works out 100% perfectly every single time, but I'm telling you, more often than not, instead of getting 2%, I'm often getting 3, 4, or 5% at a minimum. Where like often I'm getting between 5 and 6%, and on some of the big commercial deals, which I'll show you how to do in quite a second here, of how to get even more. It is possible to earn massive commission checks, $25,000 on that same house where you would have probably earned only 10 or 15 grand. Now I'm earning sometimes 50%, 75%, 100% or more than an average realtor. Which again, if you guys are taking a lot out of this, make sure you guys go in the description down below and schedule your free coaching call with me. So what is so amazing about real estate? You guys, this is exactly how I've been able to multiply my income 3, 4, 5x in 24 months. And I was already making great money. It's an amazing quick shift where I'm able to work very few hours and make substantially more money on every single deal. My buyers are happy, my sellers are happy. This is where the magic happens. Now, I'll give you an example on the commercial side. For the commercial agents out there, listen, increasing your commissions. Yes, kind of similar. You're finding an off-market opportunity. You're working with a buyer, you're working with a seller, okay? You find a seller and he's looking to sell their property for $2 million. And you got a buyer who's looking for, call it a $2 million deal, maybe 2.2, 2.5, $3 million, okay? Point is that like, my team and what my specialty is finding off-market opportunities. So what I'll do is that I'll take my $2 million seller and I'll say, hey, listen, I'll even negotiate with him like I am the principal buyer. And I'll say, hey, John, you got a beautiful building. Listen, I got a contract for 1.8. I try to push as much as I possibly can for my buyers. And listen, I'm already knowing that I can sell this property for $2 million all day long. But here's the thing. It's not like I signed a contract and I have a fiduciary responsibility to get him the most money possible. I didn't sign anything with the person, okay? I'm calling up every single person that I talk to. Every single person, whether on the resi side or on the commercial side, I'm calling as a principal buyer. And what I'll do is that, again, I'm going to pitch them like I'm the investor. And like what happened is that they're going to say, I want $2 million. Great, I got you a contract, and I already know that my buyer will pay $2 million. So what will happen here is that I'll talk to the seller, I'll negotiate the deal ahead of time. And what I'll do is that I'll say, hey, listen, I can get you 1.8. Can't get you 2, I got you 1.8. See if we can get a deal done. He'll come back to me and say, listen, I can't do 1.8, I can do 1.85, I can do 1.9, I can do 1.95. Even they say $2 million. I'll tell the guy real quick, I say, listen, their best number is 2.2. 2.2, I got $200,000 in spread. Okay, which what I'll do is I'll either do a double close on the property. I'll double close on it, which is plenty of title companies that'll be able to do that. There's some attorneys that'll be able to help you out with that. And or worst case scenario, I'll still be able to build in a 5 or a 6% commission for myself. So what'll happen is like, okay, well listen, I'll put on a 6% commission. If they're looking for 1.8, if I sell it, let's say I'm selling it to my guy at 1.95, I'll do $150,000 commission, which is like something close to 6% or so. Seller wins because they get what they want, and yes, I am a great negotiator. And the buyer gets what they want to because they found a great off-market opportunity. This is how I'm able to create my own commissions. Point number 3 is increase the deal flow, which is what we were just talking about a second ago, right? Which is increasing the amount of deals you do, right? So again, there's really only 3 ways to make more money in real estate. Either higher price points, more commission per deal, or do more deals. That's it, guys. Like, that's really it, all right? There's really no other way to earn more money as gross income, okay? Obviously, you can cut your expenses. So you need to think about it this way. If you are going to earn more money, and you've already increased your price points, and you've done everything, because you've been watching all my video content, you're following everything, you're doing everything, you're super coachable, you're maybe even a part of my coaching program, what happens is that now you're making more money. You're super excited about it, but you're like, Henry, I want to sell more deals. So what I am here to tell you is that, yes, it is about increasing the commissions per deal more than the amount of deals. Because my life, my vision for me is I don't want to do 10,000 deals a year. I want to do the least amount of deals possible to make the most money possible. That is my vision. To increase your deal flow, the most important thing, or the easiest, simplest way that I have found to increase my deal flow is to work on double transaction clients. What that means is this. If you're on the residential side, that means we're working with people who are move up or move down buyer sellers. What that means is that they own a property now, and they are either going to upsize or they are going to downsize. That means you're going to get the sale and the next purchase. Okay, so that means you got a 2-transaction client, which means you can work with the same amount of clients and make twice the money. Now again, you could also not only move up with a current person who owns a home and then move down or move up, you can also work with an investor. I love investors. I'm a huge fan of investors. I don't know if you've heard that yet, but I like working with investors. So I find off-market opportunities. I find them a house to buy. Okay, they buy that property, then they have to resell that property. So with the same client, I can do that 2-transaction process, and maybe I'll make 6% on the sale and I'll make 2-3% on the resale. And on top of that, guess what? I might do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 transactions or more per client. On the commercial side, same exact principles apply. You just kind of have to look at it slightly differently. You would do a 1031 exchange. You find somebody who owns a property already and they want to move up. They want to buy a bigger property, or maybe they want to get rid of it and then they want to transition into a smaller property and want to take some money off the table. The opportunity to find somebody who owns a property already, is willing to sell it for a good price, okay, especially when we talk about the commercial world, sell it for a good price. They want to upscale the property or the downscale the property. These people, this is how I've been able to take my life, instead of working 120 hours a week to make $1 million a year, to work less than 20 hours a week and make several times that. This is a great opportunity where, again, listen, if you guys want to know how to do the exact same thing I've been able to do, which is multiply your income and work way less hours than you ever thought possible, you need to make sure you schedule a coaching call with me and my team ASAP. There's a link in the description down below. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to leave you with one last thing. It does not matter where you are in your business right now. It does not matter where you are in your journey. It does not matter the amount of experience that you have. It could be 0. You could be your first day in the business. You could be 10 years in the business, and you still, if you're not making $1 million a year, okay, and you do not have a coach, I'm asking you why you think you don't need one. Okay? I've spent nearly $500,000 in my lifetime, and I plan on spending lots of more money investing in myself, because the best investment you can possibly make is in you. I tell people all the time, I'd rather go in debt investing in myself than investing in, even in real estate. I'd rather invest in myself first before real estate. I'd rather invest in myself before crypto. I'd rather invest in myself before stocks. If you do not have a coach, I'm asking you, what are you doing? Okay? Listen, if you got a lot of value out of this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys so very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.